This is one of the greatest true stories of the world. It is also a story about one of the most powerful personalities in all history. Guru Padmasambhava, with his magic and his flamboyant ritual dances, dominated the roof of the world in his time in the 8th century. Indeed, this story is about one of the great miracles in human history, when Guru Padmasambhava, in the power and majesty of his mission, travelled across the highest mountains. He travelled over 2,000 kilometers of inhospitable high-altitude desert to spread the message of the Buddha. These are regions where oxygen is scarce in the thin air and often it is difficult to breathe. Mountains reach for the skies, and even the hundreds of passes he would have had to cross are often higher than 15,000 feet. The great Guru not only crossed these lofty mountains and barren stretches of icy desert, he transformed the people across these lands. Owing to him, the men and women here remain Buddhist till today. It was the 8th century. Shantarakshita of the Nalanda University was in Lhasa in Tibet. He had been invited to teach Buddhism. There Shantarakshita founded the first monastery of Tibet. It was called Same and was based upon the Udantpuri Mahavihara in Bihar. However, Shantarakshita found that the people of Tibet were not converting to Buddhism. They remained afraid of the evil spirits which they feared inhabited the mountain passes and the winds. They prayed to these evil spirits to appease them and would not convert to Buddhism. Shantarakshita asked the king to invite Guru Padmasambhava to come to Tibet. He felt that he was the one Buddhist teacher who could establish Buddhism in the mountainous regions. Guru Padmasambhava was also of the Nalanda University. At this time he was teaching in Kashmir. It was at sites like Parihaspura in Kashmir that Vajrayana Buddhism or Tantric Buddhism had developed to its fullest heights. It was this advanced form of Vajrayana Buddhism that the great Guru brought from Kashmir to Ladakh, Spiti, Kinnaur and Tibet.
दिन को उन्होंने जो ये मंदिर बनाया तो रात को भूत प्रेत कैसे तोड़ फोड़ करते थे। तो आचार्य शांति रक्षिता ने उसी बुद्धिचित से करुणा से बहुत विचार किया उसको शांति करने के लिए, उसकी काबू में नहीं आया बेहतर। तो उन्होंने कहा ये आपके जो तिब्बत के जो राक्षस लोग हैं, बहुत परे लोग, वो बहुत कठोर लोग हैं, मेरे बुद्धिचित से करुणा से ये शांति होने वाला नहीं है। हमारे हिंदुस्तान में एक तंत्रिक का बोधिसत्व है आचार्य पद्मसंभवा, उसको यहाँ नियुक्त करना पड़ेगा, लाना पड़ेगा।
गुरु रिम्पोचे को तो हम संज्ञा निस्पा बोलते हैं, दूसरे बुद्धा। जहाँ जहाँ कोई बुराइयाँ हो तो हम ये सोचते हैं कि अगर गुरु रिम्पोचे जी का जो मंत्र है ओम आ हूँ मंजा गुरु पद्मा स्थिति हूँ, वो अगर पढ़ें तो बुराइयाँ दूर हो जाते हैं।
He is supposed to have come into this region when Ladakh was still under the very strong influence of Lobon, which, as you might know, is spirit is a religion which is close to shamanism, where we worship the spirits which live in the mountains, spirits which dwell in forests, in lakes, and he introduced this more scientific and more humane religion of Buddhism. He preached that, and of course he met up with very stiff resistance from many sources, but he must have been an outstanding character, must have been a very strong character to have persisted. We tend to imagine that he must have been of Pathan stock to really take on all these massive problems and overcome them. That would be, I think that would be in true keeping with the Pathan's spirit.
So his main contribution is he has successfully, he has persuaded, I think, probably convinced those Buddhists, those born masters to follow or to understand, to make them practice Buddhism.
The Tak Thok Cave Monastery is about 55 kilometers southeast of Leh. It belongs to the Nyingma sect of Buddhists and is believed to have been founded by the great Guru Padmasambhava himself. In his journeys through Ladakh, the great Guru is believed to have meditated in the cave here. The monastery is deeply revered on that account.
The main source of knowledge about the life of Guru Padmasambhava is a book which is supposed to have been written by his Tibetan consort, Geshe Tsogyal. It was lost to the world and was mystically rediscovered in 1346. Stories about the life of Padmasambhava are not agreed about the length of time he spent in Tibet. Some say he was there for 6 months, others say 50 years. We do know that eventually he decided to leave. It is also known that he spent time in many other regions, including Ladakh, Lahore, Spiti, Bhutan, Nepal, and Arunachal Pradesh. It is said that he flew to Bhutan on the back of his favorite consort, Geshe Tsogyal. He had transformed her into a flying tigress to carry him there.
There are many books which Guru Padmasambhava is believed to have written. Some of these were held secretly by the Tibetan rulers immediately after they were written. The intention was to make them public later. In the writings of Guru Padmasambhava, it is very clear that he was a revolutionary. He was well versed in traditional Buddhist practices. However, he was a visionary thinker and had very little patience with dull and tedious rituals. He spoke from his own personal experience of the truth. This was truly in the deepest Indian tradition of thought. In Indic philosophy, the written word is considered dead. The truth has to be heard from a guru. Knowledge has to be experiential, rooted in one's own personal self. In other words, the truth may always remain the same, but it has to be relived by each person. Padmasambhava's obvious, very personal experience of the truth would have been the reason for his success. That is why he would have earned the title of the great Guru, Guru Rinpoche.